We continue now at the top of Daf Yomi from Meseches Eruvin. This is Eruvin Daf 85a. The Gemara is continuing a statement of Rav Yehuda in the name of Shmuel. Bor shebein shtei chatzeros, if you have a pit, if you have a cistern that is between two courtyards, mufleges mikos el zarba, it's 4 tvachim away from this wall, and mikos el zarba, and it's 4 tvachim away from the other wall. Zem motzi ziz kol shu memali, this guy can create a ledge, just a little bit, stick out a ledge from the wall, and then fill up from the cistern. Zem motzi ziz kol shu memali, the other person as well, just puts out a ledge, any size, and he could fill up. Rav Yehuda Didei Amar, Rav Yehuda himself says, meaning not in the name of Shmuel, says, Afilu Kanya, you don't even need a ledge, even a reed, even the smallest thing can serve as a kind of a hecker to allow you to fill up from this bore. Rashi here explains, Bor shebein shtei chatzeros haprudos zu mizu, umafsik beinehen ke'ein mavui katan. You have two chatzeros that are separated from one another with a small alleyway between them. V'ein diyurin psuchin lo. There's no living quarters, no residencies that are opening into this area. V'habor ba'oso hefsik, and the pit is also in this little gap that is between the two chatzeros, mufleges, mikos al zarba. It's 4 tvachim away from the wall of each chatzer. Rashi explains, the lav hachi the muflag have tashmisho benachas. Now, if it was not separated by 4 tvachim, it would be very easy to access this. It would be no different than having a pit that's half in one chatzer and half in the other chatzer, where the rishus of both chatzeros are ruling over the bore. They have use of the bore. In such a situation, the Mishnah says you would not be able to use it, because each one would answer the other one unless they make an eruv, unless you make some kind of mechitza above the bore. That's what the Ri explains. In any case, the point over here is that it's only allowed. The only reason you're allowed to use the ziz in order to allow you to fill up from the bore is because it's 4 tvachim away from each chatzer. And Rashi here explains, Zem motzi ziz kolshu, mikos lo ad labor umemale. You have a ledge that you build from the person's wall until the pit, and then you could fill up derech halono through his window. V'chein zeh, the other side the same thing. The kevin de mufleges dalid, since it's 4 tvachim away lo shalti be lesor zal zeh, they don't answer one another. Umishum sheyeh rishus l'shneim b'mavoy nami leka shein diurein psuchin l'chatzer lotzes v'lovo b'regel. So the fact that maybe you'll say, well, since they both have rishus in the mavoi, that should create a problem. That does not create a problem because their residencies don't open up into that area. They're really only using the airspace. They're not really using the mavoi at all. And Rashi explains further, really, you don't even need the ziz, you don't even need the ledge. It's just there for a hecker. Otherwise, people might get confused and think you can use a common area where two people share an area without an eruv. That's why you have a little takon over here. Similar by a boat. They have a little ledge that you build over there and fill up. It's just there for a hecker. You shouldn't make a mistake and accidentally carry from some other Carmelis to Rishus HaYachid. That particular shita holds the area of the water is just a makom p'tur. It's not a Carmelis demaya command lesnu damu. The water's like it's not there. And then the other opinion of Yud himself said, Afilu kanya de lo minkar kuli aishar. You don't even need a ledge. You can even use a reed, which is not even much of a hecker, but it's enough in this particular situation. So that's the machlokis between Rav Yehuda Mar Shmuel and Rav Yehuda in terms of how you're allowed to fill up from such a bore. So Amar leir Abaye le Rav Yosef. Abaye said to Rav Yosef, Had Rav Yehuda de Shmueli. This statement of Rav Yehuda follows Shmuel. Now the truth of the matter is, we had to quote it as Rav Yehuda in the name of Shmuel. At this point in time in the Gemara, it's not clear that they didn't realize 100% that it was Rav Yehuda in the name of Shmuel. So Abaye now says to Rav Yosef, you should know Rav Yehuda is following Shmuel. De'ida Rav, because if he was following Rav, Ha'omar, Rav's opinion is, Rav says, Ein Adam Oser al Chavero Derech Avir, that if you have a situation through Avir, there is no prohibition at all. You would not even need the ledge. In other words, Rav would be even more lenient. Rashi says, "V'had Rav Yehuda debai tikun kolshu deshmueli mishmuel Rabbi gomer lo detzarich tikun ksas the Rav the havenami Rabbi mine." The point here is that Rav Yehuda had two Rabbeim. Shmuel was one of his Rabbeim, and Rav was one of his Rabbeim. So this is from Shmuel, not from Rav, because if it was Rav, lo gomer lo, they can't be. When you have a tashmish that's separated by 4 tvachim, like in this situation, shetzarich lizrok deli ba'aver dalet tvachim. If you're going to need to throw the pail 4 tvachim, you wouldn't even need the Kanya. Rav would be even more makel. So now the Gemara says, now that we know that this statement is from Shmuel and not from Rav, U'de Shmuel mehecha, where do we see a statement like this from Shmuel that even derech avir can create a prohibition? If you're going to say it's from the following case, now this case was quoted on the previous Amud. The Amar of Nachman Amar Shmuel, because Rav Nachman said in the name of Shmuel, Gag hasamach l'Rosh Hashanah, that if you have a roof near Rosh Hashanah, tzarich sulam kavu ala hatiro, you need to have a permanent ladder there in order to allow the people of the Aliyah to use that roof, and not the people of the Rosh Hashanah. So the point of the Gemara is the people of the Rosh Hashanah, they're not really using the roof area except derech avir. They're only using it by throwing things up there. So why yet they're creating a prohibition? So you see that derech avir there could be a prohibition. Gemara says that's not true. Dilma kid Rav Papa. Maybe the pshat in that statement of Shmuel was like Rav Papa said, also on the previous Amud. Rav Papa had said that the reason why the people from the Rosh Hashanah create a prohibition is because they are using that roof, because they're placing their hats there, they're placing their turbans there. Elameha. So then the Gemara says, rather it is from this case, and it's from this very case we have above. Zem motziz is kol shu mamale, v'zem motziz is kol shu mamale. Now the Gemara recognizes that this was a statement from Rav Yehuda in the name of Shmuel, that each person needs to create a ledge in order to fill up from this pit. Time apik, the only reason it's okay is because you create a ledge. Halo apik amrino no adam osar al chavero derech avir. If not for the fact that you created the ledge, we would say that one person would prohibit the other person through the avir. Now the Gemara says, where do we see that Rav is so lenient? Uderav mehecha. Where do we see that Rav is so lenient? Ilema mehav. It's from the following case. Shtei gezuz taros zu lamala mizu. You have two gezuz taros. There's, like we said before, you have basically two ledges with a board. It's basically like a almost like a balcony sticking out of a wall. So you have two, one right on top of the other. Asu mechitza le'elyona. Now you create, it's over the water. These things are hanging over the water. So you create a mechitza for the upper one. V'lo asu mechitza letachtona. You don't create a mechitza for the lower one. Shteyan asuros ad sheyervu. They're both asur unless they create an eruv together. In other words, in that situation, even the people from the lower one are going to use the upper one. They're both using that. What they would do again is drill a hole in the gezustra, and they would build mechitzos either over or underneath, and then they would fill up. Both are now using it, and they have made an eruv. So it's going to create a problem unless they make an eruv. V'yomer Rav Huna Marav, and on that Rav Huna said in the name of Rav, Lo shanu ela besmucha. That's only true if these two gezustros are near each other. Avol b'mufleges arba, but if they're 4 tvachim away from each other or more, elyona mutaris v'tachtona asura. The upper one is mutter and the lower one is asur, and it's for this exact reason, because now it's only derech avir. They're far away from each other, and it's going to be mutter. So the Gemara says not necessarily. Dil mashani hacha, maybe it's different here in this case. The kavan de la zeb is riko v'shilshel, because since the one in the bottom needs to throw up and lower the pail, v'la zeb is shilshel lechudei, and this other one, the top one, only needs to lower it. Ki la zeb is riko v'la zeb pesach dami. Maybe in such a situation, you're already 4 tvachim away, plus you got to throw it up and it's got to go back down again. That's already like one has easy access, one's a pesach, one's an opening, and the other one is like it's bizrika, it's a difficult access. So maybe in that particular case, even if you say generally you don't aser derech avir, even if you say generally you do aser derech avir, but in this particular situation, one of them has such a more difficult time accessing than the other that for sure that would be permitted. Rashi over here explains. Shani yachad dekaven de lazeb is rikas avir is rikas gova vishilshel. This guy's got to throw it the 4 tvachim, plus he's going upward and then lowering. The guy in the upper gezustra just lowers the pail to the sea. That's like already one has easy access, one has difficult access. But in our original case of bor, where they're both equal, in terms of their distance, maybe they do prohibit each other, even though it's derech avir. So this is not a great proof on behalf of Rav. So the Gemara says, fine, we'll try one other proof. Ela mehar, rather let's try the following. The Amar of Nachman, Amar Rav Baravu, Amar Rav Nachman said in the name of Rav Baravu, in the name of Rav, Shnei bottom, let's say a person has 2 houses, V'shalosh churvos beineim, and there are 3 ruins between them. So right now the Gemara thinks the 2 houses are on the outside, and the ruins are right between them in sequence, 1, 2, 3. So there's one in the middle, and one closer to the one on the right, and one closer to the one on the left. So in that case, Zem mishtamish b'samach shelo al yedei zrika. This one can use the rune that's near him through zrika. V'zem mishtamish b'samach shelo al yedei zrika. The other one can use the rune that's near his house through zrika. And we'll continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Pehei Amud Beis.